Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard our Monday Market Outlook in this very holy Christmas week. We're going to have just two live trade briefs this week. We're going to do one today at 1 o'clock for every member, and then we're also going to do an open brief on Friday for all of the members. We're going to kind of bookend this week. Christmas Eve, obviously, tomorrow. Everybody heads down with family and friends. Christmas Day, holiest day of the year for us Christians, us Catholics, and then cleaning up on Thursday, and then we'll get back to work on Friday for those that can make it. Quick reminder: I had a massive slew of book orders last week, so those all went in the mail. Our biggest order of books I've seen in about 10 years since we've been here at Top Gun Options. So those are all in the mail, folks. Can't get you one by Christmas Day, but if you still want one for the holidays, maybe to bring as a gift, heading in the door instead of a bottle of booze, which really doesn't help anybody too much. How about you help them improve their execution? So bring one to a party, or just still order one for yourself. If you're a TGO member and you haven't read this book yet, you're doing yourself a massive disservice. Learning about my mindset, my methodology, my background, how I trade the way I do, and really how to kind of improve your execution, not only personally, but in your business as well. So head to go.topgunoptions.com/book. From sea level to sea level. It's fighter pilots' leadership and business lessons from the front line to the front office. Went from the cockpit of an F-18 Hornet to the corner office of a $2.5 billion trading firm. Very, very interesting story. So make sure you check that out. Obviously, if you're a lifetime member, you get a free signed copy of this. We are, what are we? 8 days away from my 51st birthday, and 8 days away from the lifetime membership going up $2,500, or actually $5,000. I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's actually going up $5,000 in 8 days. If you haven't reached out to us and made arrangements to get your reduced lifetime membership by now, that boat's getting ready to sail. All right, here we go. U.S. on high alert for possible Christmas gift from North Korea. Talking to a couple buddies, they are seeing some movement around one of their launch pads, one of their test sites. So we'll see. Some folks are thinking that this just might be some rhetoric, some saber rattling. John Bolton actually, in an interview called Donald Trump, said Donald Trump was never serious about North Korea or anything at all, was just in it for the show. Really interesting about John Bolton. So, and it should be interesting if they actually the Democrats called him as an impeachment witness, because who knows what he's going to say. So, we'll see. Obviously we got people dealing with this on it. The issue is if it is a ballistic missile launch and it is heading towards Japan, folks, imagine being in Japan. What if this one's got a warhead on it? Last time they did this, they had people in shelters, air raid signs going off, and and Shinzo Abe didn't elect to shoot it down, or maybe he tried and he missed. Imagine that. What if you're Shinzo Abe and you try and shoot this thing down with all your vast military technology you buy from the United States and it doesn't work? So got to keep an eye on this. Why? Because the Dow's up 116 points and the VIX is down here at 12 and a half. Actually, so here you go. Here's a whizzism for you. A Merry Christmas week whizzism. The market is up. The VIX is up. Something's up. Well, the something that is up right now is that the market has priced in absolutely nothing going wrong for the next 30 days. Do you believe that? How about Iran? Iran commander warns of Iran attack in the Middle East. Iran's been moving stuff around on their chessboard as well. Last time they've been moving stuff around like this, they seized a British tanker, they shot down a U.S. drone, and they attacked Saudi Arabia oil facilities. Everybody remember this? Everybody remember these type of things? Everybody remember a year and a half, 2 years ago, when the president was dealing with this stuff, when he sat in his New Jersey golf club and said, "I will rain fire and fury down on North Korea, the likes of this world has never seen," right? The president of the United States threatening to vaporize 25 million people, and Democrats frothing at the mouth that he's going to get us all killed and start a nuclear war. How'd that work out for him? Only president to step foot in North Korea. Everybody remembers that picture. So what am I getting at? Market is way up here at record highs, and the VIX is starting to get off the ground a little bit. This is that Christmas rally. Look at this rally, man, from October to now. Historically, folks, I'm telling you, I've done this for 27 years, man. Historically, when you see this rip your face off rally, Christmas rally, how many of you think it just keeps going January and February? If you do, you're a fool. It will not. I speak to a lot of people on a daily basis who manage a lot of money, and this will die. All rallies die. But this is going, right? This is this Santa Claus rally. At the end of the year, December 31st, as I turn 51, that next day, man, portfolio managers look to take profits and to start, waiting for the pullback. It's a foregone conclusion. Now, if you're going to be that contrarian that says, aha, since everybody says they're going to go out, I'll be the one that stays in. Yeah, maybe 0.01% of the time that works, and you'll be broke by the time it actually does work. January and February, when we see a rally like this, ends up giving most of it back. Okay, not last year, obviously, because we know with the Fed and raising interest rates and just absolute implosion November, December, and a January rally. That does not happen historically, folks. I'm telling you. All right. So China over the weekend to cut tariffs on a range of goods amid push for trade deal. Beijing will lower import tariffs on frozen pork, pharmaceuticals, and some high-tech companies starting January 1st. Wow, great news, Wiz, right? Okay, well, if that's great news that Chinese are cutting tariffs, we're cutting tariffs. Why is the FXI down today? Okay, folks, I'm telling you, this might be a little bit of a buy on the rumor, sell on the news. The U.S. and China have a trade deal. Yay! But only Washington has what it wants. So this is the South China Morning Post, ladies and gentlemen. This is, they're really ripping apart the president. A big deal, amazing deal, historic deal. All these ag purchases, everything's phenomenal. I'm telling you, folks, the Chinese aren't super digging this. I get that they're getting rid of these tariffs. There is no way on God's green earth that the Chinese stop stealing our intellectual property. There's no way on God's green earth. They change the way they run their economy by not subsidizing many of their companies, right? The government. There's no way they're going to stop the forced technology transfer. So they're sitting here doing the old, you know what, let's just get this thing done. Let's sign whatever the hell this guy wants us to sign. He can do his victory lap, and then we're not going to do any of it. So, folks, this trade deal ain't over. When it's signed, sealed, and delivered, it's not over, folks. The Chinese aren't going to live up to it. And I guarantee, write this one down. I've had some massive, major, epic calls here from the election of Trump to the FANG implosion because they're all full of roaches, the market rally under Trump, you name it. I've made some pretty damn big calls that have been right, and I'm going to make a call right now. After this trade deal is signed, whether it's 6 months to a year, we will be back in it. Most likely after Trump wins re-election, because he's going to be able to sit here and use that trade deal going into the election because the market's up and everything's great. But most presidents' second terms, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at history, suck. Clinton, Reagan, Iran-Contra, Obama, what a human piece of feces, George Bush, the coke addict. Any second term usually sucks. And this will be the albatross around the president's neck in the second term, all this crowing about a great trade deal, and the Chinese aren't going to do anything. I guarantee you that's going to happen, and we're going to be back into a trade deal. We're keeping some of our tariffs on as kind of a stick, right? We got a carrot and a stick approach here. I agree with the Chinese. A couple weeks ago, they said, hey, man, why the hell are we going to buy soybeans or pork or anything from you when we can buy them from Brazil at a fraction of the cost? Good for you, China. Let the market decide where you buy your stuff. So that's why I'm getting a little leery about this whole rally. Buy on the rumor. This is a massive rumor of a phase one deal. And also, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know the invisible or not so invisible hand of the repo of the Federal Reserve is keeping us up here, man. The higher we climb, the harder we're going to fall. Options traders eyeing insurance even as stocks soar. Yes, absolutely. You should be loading the boat with insurance right now, buying S&P 500 puts out to January or February, getting long volatility at least 30 days out or inside of 30 days. That's a no-brainer, folks. The higher this thing goes, the cheaper that insurance get and the more money you're going to make when, not if this thing implodes. Amazon, not good. Amazon's choice isn't the endorsement it appears. The retailer attaches the badge to some items with safety concerns that make false claims or whose listings appear to have been manipulated. This is a big expose in the Wall Street Journal. When a Wall Street Journal does an expose where I have to scroll about 9 times, I haven't read this full thing yet because I wanted to knock out this Monday Market Outlook real quick. This is not flattering for Amazon. Amazon has not had a good Christmas. What are you talking about, Wiz? They've had a fantastic Christmas. I know. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, got that. And then we're sitting here. Usually in January, this type of stuff, November, December, look at Visa. Visa's had a nice run here. Good looking run. 9% in 3 months. Let's see what the XRT's doing, the retail ETF. Yeah, probably looking about the same as Visa, maybe 8%. Yeah, 9%. XLY, let's see what that's doing. Nah, not as much. Yeah, XLY and Visa or Amazon, folks, not about half these guys. A lot of non-flattering Amazon articles recently, especially the one a couple weeks ago where they're blocking FedEx Ground from Prime shipments. I think this is freaking fantastic. This is a Gordon Gekko move. Guess if Amazon ain't paying to use FedEx Ground, guess who they're paying to use? Themselves. I rarely buy calls around earnings. I am going to be buying Amazon calls in front of earnings with both hands. I think their earnings, their Q4 earnings, are going to be an absolute disgusting disgrace to the upside. Period. Okay, you heard that here first. So, but I'm not feeling the trade war optimism, folks. 15 months ago, if we heard this kind of news, the market would be up 800 points. I remember Trump crowing about the G20 summit in Argentina. Xi agreed to this, Xi agreed to that, going to be huge. Market rally. We had a massive rip higher. This trade deal is priced into this market, folks. Look at everything, man. Look at the VIX. Look at FXI. Look at everything. FXI is just kind of hovering up here, man. Can it go higher? Sure. Will it? I don't know, man. This is going to be a very interesting week. Let's talk through all this stuff a little bit more in detail at 1 o'clock, and then Friday at 1 o'clock, and let's enjoy a very holy week and spend some time with the families. We'll also talk about Boeing today. Getting rid of the skipper. That guy should have been fired the day those texts came out and everything. But Boeing about up 2.5%. Might be a time to buy Boeing. We talked about this last week. I said when that skipper goes, the stock's going to pop. Skipper went today, stock popped. So those of you, a lot of my private coaching clients got into this Boeing right around here are looking very pretty. I'd get bullish on Boeing here. So we'll talk about that at 1 o'clock as well. All right, I got to get going. Like I said, last chance for the holidays to grab your autographed copy of the book from C-Level to C-Level. Go.topgunoptions.com/book, or if your HR director is running around for a really below average keynote speaker, reach out to me, folks. That's me on stage with the CEO of McKesson, the Fortune 7 company. This guy is the highest paid CEO in the world last year, $150 million a year. John Hammergren. I called him the Hammer. That's me on stage with the North America CEO. That was me speaking in front of 1,500 sales folks at McKesson in Vegas. Good time. So I can speak to small groups, can speak to large groups. Just give us a call, okay? Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll see many of you at 1 o'clock for our brief.